Yep. And the secret sauce is the discipline. The secret sauce is the plan and the responsibility to the plan.
Yes.
All right? That is the sauce. People think it's something, that just hits all of a sudden. No. Nope. It's consistency to the responsibility of the plan.
What's going on, family? Kevin and Jesse here with you guys today, the Elite State of Mind podcast. As always, our goal is to listen, learn, and grow. Jesse, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I am doing amazing. Glad we had that kind of cool day the other day. It was down from 110 down to 98. Yeah. So it felt like a brisk spring day here in Oklahoma, even though we've been getting this 120-degree weather. Family, make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram page. Hit that little bell on YouTube so you guys get notified every Wednesday afternoon as Jesse and I help you guys get that elite state of mind. Jesse, what we're going to talk about today, man, do you know your plan?
All right.
This derived from, I believe there is a problem, and this one's a little bit more for the fellas.
Okay.
That there is a problem of there's too much haphazardness, too much, not being disciplined and structured, and it leads to failure and non-success.
Okay. All right.
Where I want to start is this. Where did the notion come in that we as men shouldn't have plans? Where do you think that is derived from? What put that in our minds that we shouldn't have plans?
I'm not quite sure. I don't. It had to come through beginning in the mid to late 90s and just kind of rolled over over the decades just to be free flowing and just go with the flow. All of that, but I'm not sure, man. I'm really not certain about that.
So maybe let me ask this, because obviously, you being born, early 80s, and as you said before, you being alive, Papa, great granddad, cousin Larry, Uncle Jesse Lee, some cats that were older. Mm-hmm. Did they seem to just live life on a whim? No. Or were they more? They had some structure. They had some goals. They had plans.
Yeah, they would be what people would call rigid. Today. They were structured, man. We're talking about people who, military or someone close to them was in the military or, they worked on a military base. Sure. Just the time frame they grew up in, they had to be structured just to, keep themselves alive. So,
yes.
Definitely more rigid. There was no floating, drifting in what they had to do. Yeah. Even when it was just, work related, if they were doing something at church or just on a day-to-day basis, there was always a plan. Mm-hmm. Like Papa kept a plan. It was always, tomorrow we got to do this, and this, and we're going to go visit somebody over here, or it's Wednesday, I know what I got to do because I got to get up, man, I'm going to have this coffee, eat this breakfast, I got to take your mom out to work, come back home, study my scripture for a couple of hours, I'm going to go check on a few people. Whatever it is, if I have an opportunity for, office hours and then, pick your mama up from work and then I'm going to go over, to the church for a while and get ready to teach this lesson.
Sounds like you had the whole day.
The whole day was
mapped out. As a young man, being even, before your teenage years, seeing these things, seeing, him plan out his day. And normally, obviously, he's doing these things. And would you say at his craft he was pretty successful? Mm-hmm. Yep. What do you feel like that taught you in? Okay, maybe I should get one of those.
Yeah, it just the evidence was in front of me that this is what men do. You have a plan. Mm-hmm. That your day is structured. And as I progress in age, that's how it was. We had things we had to do. There are things you needed to do before school. You had to go to school. Yes. And they laid out a plan for you. When you started playing sports, which really, got that idea solid that, hey, man, your structure is there. The structure of practice is there. The structure of, the workout is there. All of that has to be planned if you want overall success. And we see it play out. Yes. Right? That when you actually have a plan in place that you know where you're going to go, then you're able to make adjustments if you need to. Mm-hmm. But you just know what's going to transpire throughout your day, throughout your week, and then it just makes life easier. Because I don't know about anybody else is guilty that I got off a plan, tried to be like other people and, just kind of just, oh, yeah, whatever. And I don't have much success when I have a plan. No. I just don't.
You don't. One of the biggest differences, like you said, you start to play sports. In high school, there was a little bit of a plan. Yeah. Right, but when you make that transition from high school to college, and you see how they break down practice, from we're going to run 6 plays from the right hash, we're going to run 10 in the middle of the field. When we get to the red zone, we're going to go from the left hash. When you see how they break these things down, and then just when you see how they structure your day, when they tell you get up, 5:45, workout this time, breakfast check, go to class, eat lunch, go to class, go come back, watch film, go to practice. If you just started out or you got bad grades, study hall. Go to sleep.
Mandatory study hall.
And it says all of those things on there. And those things are done to give you success. I want to say this, men, if you believe that you should not have a plan, you are setting yourself up for failure.
Massive failure.
And not only are you setting yourself set up for failure, any woman that comes into your life, you're setting her up for failure. Any children she has or y'all have or you have before her, you are setting them up for failure.
Definitely.
Children need routines. They need plans and structure to their day.
They need discipline.
And those things, they begin and end with us. Now, obviously, if you pick the right woman that can fit in, to what you guys are wanting to do and accomplish, she's going to help you make your plan easier, make it flow better. She's going to give you some relentless improvement, right? But if you are out there just living helter-skelter by the seat of your pants, doing things based off your emotion.
Oh, my gosh.
You are setting yourself up to be a drifter. And you are ruining more lives than your own.
Very true. Very true.
It is such a dangerous thing for us as men to invite people into our stratosphere and have no plan of what we want or what we want them to be.
Right.
As we've talked about, man, where do I want my daughter to be in the future?
Yes.
Where do I see her? Have I given any thought? Have I made any plan?
That's right.
As to what I might want to see her be successful in? That could change over time, being what piques her interest. But I should have given some thought. I should have some wherewithal as to what I want that part of her life to look like.
Yeah, you're setting the course, right? People don't think that's important to do, even when they're very young. But it is, because it's setting them in the rhythm of, okay, my mind can connect with where I'm supposed to go. And that's important, for fathers to do, for men to do, is you set that course, right? If you want them to be successful, then you have to set the course. If you don't plan that thing out, then you're not planning for success.
Right. As captain of the ship, I plot a course. If I'm a pilot, I know, and I know it should take me X, Y, Z amount of time to get from this airport to that airport. I know if I got a layover, how long it should take me there, how many passengers we're going to take on. Men, please, please, please stop endangering the lives of other individuals, whether they are your woman, wife, children, your homies.
Right.
Because you can be sitting up having a conversation with somebody. And the next thing, oh, hey, bro, yeah, man, my plan is to whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, man, X, Y, Z. Nah, man, don't have no plan. And now I've ruined your life, too.
Right.
And instead of, I listen to your plan, I'm like, oh, man, yeah, I got a plan to do this. Maybe you can try this. And I try to interject one or two good things. But I cannot stress enough, man, it is a dangerous thing to run around here without a plan and without seeking knowledge to fine-tune your plan. Women, let me say this to you. If your man ain't got no plan, one, he's not a man, and you need to get rid of him. Expeditiously.
We can.
I mean, quick.
Because how's he going to lead you if he doesn't know where he's going?
He doesn't know his plan.
That just doesn't work. That doesn't work.
As we talked about last time when we talked about, the topic of submission, I believe that the struggle comes in is because there is a lack of trust. And you know why they don't trust us? Because I ain't got no solid plan.
My plan is I'm just gonna go here and do this.
And that's it.
And that's it.
My plan lacks depth. It lacks a definition of done.
Yeah.
It lacks performance increments.
Mm-hmm.
It lacks a definition of purpose.
That's right. How are we checking? And here's the biggest thing, like I'm stuck on this, maybe it's just where I am right now, is just what is the overall objective? What are we going to accomplish?
We done hung the theme up. We done hung up the themes. And I'll say, hey, man, our goal is abundance.
Right.
But every conversation we have ain't got nothing to do with abundance.
That is...
It's got to do with lack.
Just ridiculousness. It just doesn't go.
It don't, and we don't never get to abundance.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't know what the overall objective is.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what nothing.
I don't have anything. I can't reverse engineer and really break down the plan if I don't know, like you said, the objective is the theme and the theme is the objective. If abundance is where we're at, let's define abundance. What is that and what does it mean to us?
And then how do we achieve it?
And how do we achieve that?
Please tell me any plan of war that was successful that didn't start with a plan. Not that it didn't change.
Yeah, no.
I understand in theaters of war, things happen. Yeah. People, objectives have to change. Mm-hmm. People, deaths happen. All of these things are going on in the midst of the battle. Mm-hmm. But again, as you said, the overall objective is to take this city. Right. Well, here's our first plan. We need to do it step by step. Oh, hey, we're not going to get air support. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, how do we change to still complete the objective? Yep. Right? Yep. I'm going to college. My goal is to get this degree. Okay. Oh, hey, they no longer offer this course. Well, now I have to go into an advisor. I have to do some work. Yeah. Well, what can I take to make up for this no longer being offered to still get my degree? Right. But as we learn, as parents, how often do we set our kids off to high school and college with no plan and just tell them, hey, good, great job getting accepted. Yeah. Now figure it out.
Too prevalent in our community. We wonder why, we send a young man or young woman off and they may struggle.
Not may, they do.
Yeah, they struggle because, people feel like, oh, you graduated, well, you're no longer my problem. My parenting is over. It's done. I got you there.
That's tough.
Now it's it. And it's like, it's time to rewrite that book.
It is.
Right?
Because planning keeps people from getting distracted. Mm-hmm. It can do many things to help remove obstacles and barriers and alleviate distractions.
Yes, for sure.
Because I know that if I have to get these things accomplished, to get this task done, to reach my definition of done, I should be. Then we just get into the topic of self-discipline. Right. And that's something that has to be done by that individual. Mm-hmm. But I can't apply self-discipline without a plan. Right. How do I become self-disciplined with no definite purpose? Right. And as men, if I'm not the master of myself, if I don't bring myself into subjection for the plan I have for me, one, men, how do we expect someone to listen to us?
It's difficult. I remember, having a conversation with our Aunt Colada, and that's one of the things she said. She was just like, son, you got to make sure you are mastering manhood. That is your work.
That's a good one.
You do that.
R.I.P.
Right. And things will fall into place. And I found it to be true, right? There are, things that happen in life, some difficulties, the trials, tribulations, whatever you want to call them, right? Life just happens. But if I'm focused on my particular work, then I'm not focused on the things that happen to me. Right. Whether they're deemed to be good or whether they're deemed to be bad. Yep. My focus is, okay, I'm mastering this thing. I'm in pursuit of mastering this thing called manhood.
Those are facts. And too often we don't want to master manhood.
No.
We just want to be out here on a whim, and if you're a casualty of my carelessness, I don't care.
So be it. Right?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, that was your fault for taking me up with my foolishness. Right. How do we, as mentors, even if we're not mentoring our own children, because they could be a little bit more apt to listen than being under our dominion. Right. But when we come into contact with individuals that feel like, man, no, shouldn't have no plan, or I don't want to read, or I don't want to go work another job to achieve my financial goals. How do we, in love, have that conversation with another man and say, hey, brother, you're not being successful right now?
Well, I think, we begin the conversation is, we're asking questions, right? We're posing the questions of, how do they define manhood? Like, let's start there. And then we get that baseline and say, well, part of what we do is that we're going to have to be able to teach.
Yes.
Right? Those that we come in contact with, those that we're responsible for. So in order for us to be adept at teaching, we have to study to show ourselves approved. So I should, constantly be studying something.
Yes.
Right? Where other people have time to, watch all the TV they want to do, or a good time where you go out and go do some other stuff. Like, you're responsible for the knowledge of your particular nation.
Right.
So because that is the fact, you have to be, that master teacher. You should be constantly reading. And so we have to tell them, like, hey, because that's a part of your responsibility. It's your responsibility to do the teaching. It's, if you have a significant other, it's theirs to help you do the teaching. So you have to plan out what's being taught. You're planning the curriculum that's going to be there, and they're going to help. But the issue is that you don't have anything inside of you. You have no knowledge, or you have no understanding. So therefore, it's difficult for you to actually do your job.
Facts. And
that's part of your job. So if you don't understand that, then it makes it very difficult for you to go, okay, I'm going to take 6 months to a year and get this second job so that, we can get this down payment for this house.
Right.
Okay? And you have to be able to articulate that particular plan and goal so that everybody's on the same page.
Well, stay right there for a moment.
Okay.
Because there are some of us who we can set up and we can think of a good plan, right? And we know the steps. I know my definition of done. I know my capacity that I can allocate to this second job. Okay. Right? I got an 8 hour now. Okay, let's say I got another 4 hours.
Right.
Out the day I can work. So I'm working a total of 12 hours. But then when I go to unpack this plan, especially inside of a relationship, all I come in and say is, hey, I'm finna get this other job.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I've run into some friction.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where do we need to get better at in forms of unpacking our thoughts and ideas?
Well, I mean, it's always coming back to this, is the improvement of our language and, definitely studying communication, the art of communication. There are so many books out here that talk about that. Also, just me personally, I'm reading the art of negotiation, understanding, how communication plays a role in negotiation, and that all of our relationships are negotiations, and that if we want them to go well, it isn't a matter of, okay, yeah, I need to win. Right. No, everybody involved needs to be a winner. Right. Well, what does it take in order for that to happen? They have to feel heard. Yes. Everybody in the conversation must be heard. We have to figure out, again, what the objective is and how everyone involved can reach their respective goals. That's important. So I can't just come in and be like, yeah, I'm going to work this job, so I ain't going to be here. That's going to cause a problem. Right. It's going to cause a major problem. Right. But like you said, if I'm able to come in and say, okay, remember we had this conversation of we need to increase the savings as fast as possible to about $1,500. Okay, then, the second objective is to get the down payment is, $10,000. So there's two separate things we have to do. So immediately the $1,500, well, this first job I have isn't enough, right? To do that in the time frame that we want. So this other job is going to pay this amount of money. I can work 3 to 4 days, and this is how much it's going to be. And it should probably take me about 3 or 4 months to get both of these things done. Right. So from that point, you're laying out exactly what it is that you want to do. It's in agreement with the goals that you all have set. And then, hey, we got to get another agreement. Is this plan acceptable? Is it going to be okay? Because you're looking that it's not just the end goal for us as men. That's what we look at. Right. Not just the end goal, but it's everything that comes along inside of that. Right. Understanding, hey, it may put a little bit more pressure on you if y'all have kids. Or it just might put more pressure on the relationship. Hey, I can't spend as much time this next quarter of the year, but what it's going to do is allow us to move forward in the overall plan, and we have to be able to communicate that.
And that it gets us in a lot of trouble because, one, we just think we should be able to say that and they just take it.
Right.
Without good explanation, especially if we haven't been in something for a couple decades and have proven, the work.
That's right. That's right.
If there is if I can show you no data as to why this is going to work, even maybe before you come into my life, I said, well, no, every other quarter, I go get another side gig to do X, Y, Z. You see, that's how I increase my personal savings. That's where I get the money to invest. And this is the data. Here's my spreadsheets.
Yes.
Here's my E-Trade account. Here's all of these things that I can show you as to how I've garnered this success.
Yes.
Right. We just we listen to the motivational speaker and he's telling us X, Y, Z. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
But like you said, then I have no data to show you, and I don't want to bring you solid evidence as to why this is going to work. Not that, hey, I talked to my mentor. He said, do X, Y, Z, get on this budget. This is why.
Yes.
And I can send you to people and to him and say, hey, this is why this works.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And one, we've had a couple conversations about plans. Right, and the last conversation we had, you were a young brother, you wanted to say, talked about plans constituting responsibility. And what I believe, one thing I got from that is you have a responsibility to the plan.
Yes.
And unresponsible individuals create unresponsible plans.
Yes.
Responsible individuals create responsible plans.
Yes.
Because those plans, again, they have steps, they have depth. And they take into consideration the people that they may affect, even the people down to the person that it may just affect 5 minutes, at the end of the week.
Yeah.
It takes into account for those things. But one, in our transition from, adolescence into young men, into, full-grown manhood, the topic of self-discipline comes into, am I willing to take time out of, like you said, the good timing, and, the watching the shows or the playing of the game, or even sometimes hanging out with the homies, to give myself over to the plan, to the study of how to create a solid plan, and therefore alleviate obstacles and barriers for all that I may affect inside of that.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, again, you are going to get people hurt.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt people's feelings. You're going to hurt your own feelings. You're going to affect your health, your finances, and your spiritual well-being.
That's right.
By just not having a good, solid definition of planning.
That's right.
One, what is your definition of success?
That's a big one.
Too often, I'll look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're successful, and then I just want to be like you.
Right.
But I don't come talk to you about what were the factors that played into your plan? What were the factors that played into you moving how you have to move? Because maybe I don't need to do that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe I don't have to go, work 7 days out the week.
Right.
Maybe there are some skills that I have that can alleviate some of that. But again, because I'm not wise enough to come talk to somebody.
Right.
To be humble enough to say, hey, how'd you do that, man? Why'd you do that?
Yep.
And the next thing you know, I'm just emulating you, and I'm unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But then I'm mad at you.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'm upset. Because you didn't give me the secret sauce.
Yep. And the secret sauce is the discipline. The secret sauce is the plan and the responsibility to the plan. Yes. All right? That is the sauce. People think it's something, that just hits all of a sudden. No. Nope. It's consistency to the responsibility of the plan. And you look up 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and oh man, this thing is really turning out to be more than what I thought it would be. And
that's the craziest part is when you get that overall objective, you plan out what it's going to take to get there. Normally, if you were disciplined to that plan, you get more than what you thought you were ever going to get.
Yes.
From just staying disciplined and being faithful to that plan. Yeah. Jesse, before we get out of here, what I would love for you to share, with the fellas, maybe, some of the younger ones.
Yeah.
What would you feel is, one, the overall benefit, or maybe the number one benefit of having a plan for wherever you're at in life, whether you are, 5 years old, 15, 25, 50.
Yeah. The number one benefit is that you won't be able to be swayed.
Ooh.
Too many of us are often swayed by what we should do, the opinions of others, especially the unwarranted and the unsolicited opinion of those who aren't doing anything.
Facts.
So if you have a plan, that means you have a sense of direction. You know the steps that you need to take. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that you need to do is actually execute and work on executing at a high level.
Right.
And so I would encourage, like you said, every brother out there, 5, 10, 20, 50, if you don't have a plan, get a plan. Mm-hmm. If you have one, it's time to revisit it to see if it's actually working for you. And if it's not, we make the adjustments, make the appropriate adjustments. That means you might have to reach out to your mastermind group, to your mentor, whatever it may be, but make those adjustments and just get to work. Let's get to work. Let's work our particular work.
Work, man. Got to work the work. Mm-hmm. Of him who sent me. Wireless day.
Wireless day.
Night's going to come.
Yes, it is.
When no man can work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a tough one right there.
It is a tough one.
Are you going to put in the work before night comes?
Yeah.
And as you said before, family, men, what I really want to share is that if you will, again, as Jesse said, if you're disciplined to the plan, you're not just going to set yourself up for success, but for generations to come.
That's right.
They are going to find success based upon the groundwork, the foundation of the plan that you set in place. Mm-hmm. So when night does come on your life, and you're no longer here, you are still providing.
You're still here
and protecting.
You're still here. That's your work as a man, as a man, as a provider. That when we're no longer here, that we're even in my death, I'm still providing.
Still providing
for kids, grandkids, greats, all of that, man. That we're still making provisions from our death. It's a lot.
That's got to be the goal.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Will your plan survive the grave? Mm-hmm. Family, hey, we sure appreciate you guys for tuning in with us today. Make sure you guys like, follow, and share. Make sure you guys follow us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Y'all have a great day.